Hey everyone, Dr. Shook here. Hope you're doing well today. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, and it is directly connected to autoimmune conditions. If you have rheumatoid arthritis, if you have Hashimoto's, psoriasis, if you have any autoimmune condition, this is important to understand. Now, to give you a 30,000-foot overview, you need to understand some context first. Why are we talking about leaky gut or intestinal permeability? When you look at autoimmune disease, there is your genetics and then there are environmental factors. And when those combine, it results in the expression of your genetic expression and the manifestation of autoimmunity. So we can't control the genes, but we can control the environmental factors. That's what we're talking about. Intestinal permeability is one of those environmental factors. So we're looking at this through the lens of the environmentally induced model of autoimmunity. This is a conceptual framework that I think is the cutting edge on how to understand the factors that you can control with autoimmune disease to try and dampen it or put it into remission. There are three major components. There are the barrier systems, which is what we're talking about here. There are the triggers, which are food proteins, pathogens, chemicals, and then there are factors that influence and disrupt normal immune system regulation, so turning inflammation on and off. So we're going to talk about intestinal permeability. Hyperpermeability, a pathological state. Now, it is there's a lot of nuance here, but I want to try to break this down and make it as simple as possible. So the cells that line your intestinal tract are called epithelial cells. They have finger-like projections that point up and in to the gut, and they're joined side by side. Now, where they join side by side between the cells, these are called tight junctions. They are held together by proteins. These proteins can be signaled like doorways to open and to allow immune cells that are in the blood to literally called dendritic cells to reach into the gut and sample the microenvironment in the gut. And so this allows the immune system to survey the intestinal barrier. Now, if you have immunological triggers, that there are things in the gut like pathogens or certain foods like maybe gliadin from gluten that can trigger receptors called CXCR3 receptors or toll-like receptors that signal the inside these epithelial cells to release a protein or a compound called zonulin. Zonulin will actually open these doors, and if this persists for a longer period of time, it becomes pathological, letting bacterial fragments and things from inside the gut move into the bloodstream, triggering an inflammatory response that's systemic, that is a well-known trigger and driver when this happens over a long period of time for autoimmunity. So this is one of the main things we need to focus on. Now, you can support this by removing triggers, by using things like zinc carnosine, glutamine, and supporting the intestinal barrier. If you have questions, if you're looking for dietary strategies or anything like that, look at the link in my bio. Ask questions if you have them. I'll do what I can.